Welcome to Worth Your Time with your hosts from the nationally syndicated Bob and Tom Show, Kristi Lee, and the president and CEO of the Indianapolis Zoo, Dr. Rob Shumaker. Our mission to inform, entertain, and educate with guests from all aspects of life. We guarantee there isn't another podcast that features two hosts with such different backgrounds and discussions with remarkable people doing exceptional things. So let's get started. Here are your hosts, Kristi Lee and Dr. Rob Shumaker.
Kristi, good to see you as always.
And you too, Rob.
Everything all right?
Everything's great. Can't complain at all.
I hope not. We've got one of the best guests we could possibly hope for, Mr. Sam Miller.
I am flattered.
You are so good to do our podcast on the eve. Is it the eve of your tour?
Yeah, I just flew into Indianapolis, so I'm doing Bob and Tom tomorrow, and then I'll go to Peoria, and then I'm at the Jukebox that Friday and that Saturday, and I'm doing a Chicago on Sunday. I'm doing a Laugh Factory in Chicago on Sunday.
I'll tell my daughters.
Wonderful family. Yeah.
Send them up there.
Yeah, well, they should come see me in April in Chicago. That's
when are you? I'll come up there too.
April 17th. Yeah. That would be sick.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever seen me live before.
I've gone to a couple comedy shows with them up there.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
I got a really cool thing. I love Chicago. Yeah, Chicago.
So do my girls.
Yeah, it's really cool. So.
Well, speaking of family, you're very close to your family.
Yeah.
I love following you on your socials because you're constantly with your mom and it's just so sweet. And Dr. Rob wanted to ask you about.
Oh, I'm really curious about the title is The Jail Letters.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. So my mom, when I was incarcerated, my mom saved all my letters that I sent to her, and I managed to get her letters out with me. Usually it's hard to get property out of jail sometimes, but I got her letters out with me, and I mailed her some stuff too from in there. And we did this project. So I was a student at Evergreen State College. I really love that college because I was able to do an independent study program, and I was looking around recidivism and like how to stop people from going back to prison, and we came up with this idea of like from both of our perspectives, like what incarceration is like for my mom and what it was like for me. And we did these because they had all this really trick like technology there, including these like really high resolution scanners, and that's what we did is we scanned them, and then we'd project them and the envelopes and other stuff pertaining to my criminal history or whatever, and then me and my mom would read the letters, and it's hard on me and my mom. We do okay with it, but like it's I think people left with a hopeful feeling, but there's parts of it that are just brutal. Like there's parts of it, like there's things that I was hiding from her that was going on some of the places. Like one of the places I was locked up was in Yakima County, and that place actually got federally indicted. There was like a grand jury, and it got shut down because of how they were treating inmates. And it was just, I'm 19. 19. And as much as I had like the drugs and the alcohol and stuff, I was never like dangerous. I was never, I had some issues, don't get me wrong, but like, it was brutal. And, but yeah, people really loved it. It was really well received. We're actually going to do it again.
Oh, wow.
Because, my record label, the folks, Dan Schlissel and, Stand Up Records, and Ian Rand's the director of my first comedy special and the second one we just filmed. We are going to do that again and film it. So that's coming up.
Not a dry eye in the house, I bet.
Oh, it's brutal. Yeah. You really can't. You can't, because there's just no ducking it. When you're actually reading those letters and knowing like kind of what happened. And honestly, there's some things that I'm fairly ashamed of that I did while I was incarcerated. And partially it's that the atmosphere, but I think accountability is important, and I think that it's okay to realize that, and try to make it right down the road. And
so what was the amount of time from letter one to the last letter?
Oh, geez. So I think it was like half a year. So, I mean, I started in Thurston County, And then I got in trouble in the Thurston County Jail, and I got shipped to a Yakima, which is where you went if you were medium security. So I went from minimum to medium because I got in an altercation with a guard. I tried to fight a guard naked.
Wait,
in my defense, he did make me very angry.
You were naked or the guard was naked?
Guards don't get naked.
I was going to say the guard. Let me be naked.
Yeah, it'd
You
be
said
weird.
I tried to fight a guard naked.
You haven't done a lot of time, have you, Dr. Rob? But yeah, it's wild stuff. You know.
Do you
wild
work
times.
with that system, the jail system at all, and try to improve the situations? Have you
I've been doing comedy in prisons a lot lately.
Have you?
Yeah, I love
wow.
it. Yeah.
Was your size a hindrance,
It was
or
bad.
it was
bad.
it made it worse for you?
You want to be medium everything when you're incarcerated. Yeah, you don't
want to stand out.
You especially don't want to be young and big.
Oh.
Because people try to test you and stuff like that, and that happened a few times.
Gotcha.
One of the reasons I'm as funny as I am is because I had to be, and that's what that. This isn't something that was forged for fun. This was something that was forged for survival. Like that's kind of.
So you started doing comedy in jail?
No, I was just funny.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you can make somebody laugh, you probably won't have to fight them. I
Okay.
hope.
Yeah. Diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's survival. And what's cool is that a lot of people have found my comedy, a lot of my fan base. Maybe they're not necessarily in recovery, or maybe their recovery might be different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they're not in recovery. Maybe they are still actively using whatever substances they are. They've found my comedy and they understand what I'm talking about. Like it really is for a lot of us. Like this is kind of like, in a weird way, jokes were all I had because everything else was gone. But you could lock me up. I could be on the streets. I'm still going to run my mouth. Like I'm still going to talk. I've never stopped talking my whole life.
Great.
Yeah.
How important was the Bob and Tom show for your career?
Oh man. Yeah. You know what's strange? So like the career stuff is hard to calibrate, like what it meant for me. It was my first mainstream credit is what they call it. You get like a credit. So being on the Bob and Tom show was my first credit. And then I have like #1 on iTunes, and I'm doing a thing on NPR soon, which is cool. So
Are you really?
What are you doing on NPR?
Yeah.
This show called Live Wire. They film in Portland.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Yeah, it's usually after Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Right.
So I'm doing that.
That's cool.
But yeah, it did. It moved the needle in a major way, and it got me into some comedy clubs, and it got me headlining at some comedy clubs like the Jukebox and a few other places. But I think more than this, and I'm going to get a little bit emotional and stuff, but like it also let me know that like it made my self-esteem grow.
Validated you?
Yeah, I felt really validated the first time I was there. And like you go to the studio and it's like, and I was trying to be cool, but I was like, I remember talking to Tom and being like, I don't know if you guys got like any like stickers or like Bob and Tom. I was trying not to be a dork, but it was hard, it's hard because like I never like, I try not to come off like this, and I'm not trying to be like overly emotional or nothing. It's just like it feels like my life. It's like the whole time I'm drinking and using and everything, and like my early sobriety, I'm like a bow, and it's getting like pulled back, and then like I started doing comedy, and it's like, whoop, and now I don't like, I'm just flying. Like it's crazy. Like life is so big and fast and weird and hard, but dope too. It's a lot of stuff all the time.
Where do you see it going?
I don't know. I've never really had like a strategy. I just go for like, I know where it's going. It's going fast.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going hard. Go hard in the paint, Kristi.
All right. Talk about your next special.
Oh, I just filmed it on Saturday in Astoria.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. They had a jib camera on
Yeah,
like a 25-foot arm.
Yep.
And that was weird. And
did you do 2 shows?
I wish. Did one. Let's live a little.
Okay.
Feel a little bit of pressure. I only messed up like 2 little things.
That's good.
Yeah. I said alternative bird instead of flightless bird. I'm really proud. My new jokes.
You should be proud.
You know what's funny is this special, there's not as many drug jokes on there or homeless jokes or jail jokes. There's some because I can't do none at all. But a lot of it is about like being big. And also a lot of it's about how much I love big women. And there's jokes about birds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think my next special is going to be really grimy, though. Because, there was a time, like, when I started comedy, I was at, like, some show in Seattle, and I was always ahead of schedule, right? Like, because I was funny, and I also had public speaking experience before I started doing comedy because of recovery stuff.
Mm.
And I was at a mic one time, and, like, I heard somebody who's like, oh, yeah, Sam's good. He's like, oh, yeah, the meth comedian. And, like, it kind of bothered me, but now I kind of love it. Like, I don't really care anymore because, like, I'm a miserable, jealous hater sometimes, too. So, like, sometimes I'll see a comedian, I'll be like, oh, like, think they're the first ones to do that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like when I'm not doing good, like, I know it because I start worrying about other people. I feel guilty about it sometimes, like, but I don't know, it's natural.
So what do you mean by grimy?
Oh, I don't know. My new special, I don't know how I feel about it.
All right.
Because, like, sometimes I have to be careful about the jokes that I tell because I can talk about my own experience and still, like, upset people. So, like, I have a joke about, like, breaking into a house that I'm working on where I go, you ever break into, like, a hoarder's house and you're just, like, in their living room and it's just super gross and you're like, oh, these people need to get their stuff together. Yikes, what a mess. And, like, I don't know how, because it doesn't, I guess if it's established that I care, like, because I feel like that can be very dismissive over people that have had somebody break into their house, which is something that happens. And I feel terrible about it. But also, like, that's pretty funny, too.
Did you ever get caught?
Burglaring?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I got theft charges for, like, shoplifting. I got caught shoplifting. Honestly, we didn't break into houses, but we did break into garages, which counts as part of the house.
Well, I was going to say, you didn't fit through a window.
I know, I've heard that before. You know what's funny? That's somebody. No, that's perfect. Somebody said that one time. That's the funniest comment I ever got on my Instagram. Is like, I had that joke, because I have that joke where I'm like, I did meth for 8 years, but I had a job the whole time. And everybody's like, woo. And then I go, I was a burglar, and then somebody on my Instagram was like, he's not coming through a window. And I was like,
yeah.
That's good. That's good. Don't sleep on Kristi Lee.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
So where do you fall on the comment I hear a lot of comedians say where nothing's off limits?
I think I like what Jesselnick said, where comedy's getting away with it. So, like, I think a lot of even mainstream comics are taking the racism and the homophobia and the transphobia stuff too far. But also what I think about their comedy doesn't matter. And it's more about, like, what I'm doing. And I'll tell you this, if you've ever seen me live, like, I make it a point, whatever race, gender, sexuality, nation of origin you are, I never want you to leave my show and feel like I was cruel to you.
Yeah.
I will not do that. I will make fun of rich people. They're fair game. And I don't know, because I'll talk about that stuff. I'll talk about race and gender and, like, people's weight. But, like, I just don't. And also, like, who am I? Like, I've established, like, the person I was for a long time. Like, that doesn't, like, I'm just not that guy.
You're not a mean guy.
No. And even when I deal with hecklers, like, I'll be mean, but, like, I don't get, like, a big kick out of it or anything. I don't get that. Like, I don't think it has to be like that. It's like, oh, comedy, we're in the trenches. We're the last real, like, we're the truth tellers. Because that's the thing that I see in mainstream comedy that bothers me is they're like, we're the spearhead of culture and stand-up comedy is very important. And then the next breath, they're like, I can say anything I want. Nothing means anything. It was a joke. It's like, all right, dude.
How many times did Tom say that in a show?
Yeah.
It's just a joke. Sorry, Tom. He'll never listen to this.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I you know, what I think about it, you know, and I think culture and comedy are related, and I think there's a pendulum that swings back and forth. And I think right now that pendulum has swung like pretty far towards like this, like the other thing that bothers me too about like a lot of the stuff that I hear in like comedy now, and it's okay, like I said, before I say this, do whatever you want. Like, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just my personal taste. Is this what's like, oh, like I said something racist on stage, and this is like the new comedy. Like, we can say it now. This is like a new world. It's like, that's not new. Like,
Yeah.
that's like the least new thing. They're like, oh yeah, people think they invented racism in 2025. It's like, stop, God. Like, I get it, dude. You don't care. Wow.
Do you watch a lot of other comics?
No.
Do you have a lot of comedian friends?
Less than most people do. And
No,
it's
I
not
think-
that I don't love them. It's just that like I live in Olympia.
But I think it's good, though. I
Yeah.
think it's a nice way to stand out in a way.
Yeah, I hang out with a lot of other artists,
Okay.
and I have friends that are comedians for sure. My best friend Jess, who's my manager now, and we have a podcast together.
Oh,
She's
cool.
great. And Lynette Manning, who I love, and Emmett Montgomery and Derek Sheen, and like, because I came up in kind of this like really funky comedy scene. And
In
I think-
Olympia?
Olympia in Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, Olympia in Seattle. And people hate. They're like, I would never do comedy in Seattle. I'm like, all right, more for me.
There you go.
So we
Yeah.
should point out podcast, the TARP Project.
The TARP Report, very
Oh,
close.
sorry.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
close. I was
it's
close.
Okay, it's okay.
The TARP Report.
Yeah, the
sorry.
TARP Report, which is a labor of love.
All
Like,
podcasts
All
are.
podcasts are. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
We-
paying the bills.
But I will.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
will tell you what. I guess the only word I could say is how much I admire what you do
Oh, thank
in your
you.
routine. No, seriously,
Thank you.
You're brutally honest about yourself
Mm-hmm.
and your experiences, and that just seems like that's got to be so hard.
I don't know.
It's also funny.
It doesn't feel like. It feels like everything kind of happened the way that it had to happen. Because I think for me to get sober, I had to be really honest with myself, and I had to be honest with the people around me, and I had to be willing to like open myself up to other people and to get help. And then I feel like that kind of transitioned to right on stage, where it's like, I feel like that same fear that I talked about that caused me to get high, like I think we think like comedians and stuff would like, oh, we're going to be so clever and we're going to write these great jokes. People don't come to comedy shows to get outsmarted. They don't come to comedy shows to learn. They just want to laugh and they want to escape, because we're all dealing with that same fear. I think fear unites us more than other feelings. Like, and, yeah. And like that, whether it's bored, when you're bored or whatever, that's a fear of not having anything to do, like it's fear, and it's dope that my comedy helps people, like, and it helps me. That's the most fun I ever have, is really on stage.
Have you always smiled this much?
No,
You're a happy man right now.
I am happy right now,
I love it.
but later on,
It's infectious.
I'll be in my hotel alone, and I'll stare at the wall, and I'll be like, remember when Kristi Lee told me I smile all the time? Not smiling now, Kristi. I'm dark and brooding, like that movie, The Crow. I'm goth.
Are you afraid to be alone?
I do okay with it now.
Okay.
I used to hate who I was, and that was like hard.
Yeah.
That was the worst back in the day, because it used to be ooh, this is going to be quite the tonal shift here. But I would be alone, and that's when I would get like the ideation and stuff, because I didn't want to be a part of the planet anymore. I didn't want to do this anymore. But now that's almost lifted all the way.
Great.
So I will be in my car and I will listen to music, and I'm in Indianapolis, which means I'm going to go get Cincinnati chili.
Skyline.
Hell yeah. I love Cincinnati chili. It's so good.
Let's talk about your tattoos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You have quite an array.
I do. Which one should we start with?
Which one? The one around your knee is pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. That's a seagull and its egg.
Yeah.
Because I used to have jokes. And my shirt, the seagull egg thing, you didn't know, because this was before I did Bob and Tom.
Yes.
But I used to have these jokes about seagull eggs.
Okay.
Because there was a rumor, maybe I did talk about it on the show, but there was a rumor going around that I was eating seagull eggs. But it's not true.
Oh, you mean when you were homeless?
When I was homeless,
okay.
yeah. There was a rumor that I was eating seagull eggs.
Okay.
But I was just looking at them.
Yeah. Because who wouldn't?
Yeah. And so there's a seagull with its egg, and it's got like sea stuff around it. My dog Jazzy, right there.
Oh,
It's really
I
intense.
got
So
my dog
nice.
Jazzy. I have a rifle and a grenade on my arm because I was a criminal. And then I got a fish and a flower to make the rifle and grenade, like for balance.
Was this drug time and this was sober time?
The flower was actually drug time too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got to be real high to get a flower on your arm. And if you actually look at that flower, it's a really poorly done tattoo. It's not good.
Well,
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I don't mind.
What's your
Same
newest?
thing with the grenade. I was really high when I got this grenade done. That was around the same time that I got the belly tattoo that I'm most known for. That says, have you seen my belly tattoo ever?
I don't know.
I have online.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It says, let's dance. People don't understand. So that honestly, not proud of this, but that's about fighting cops. So when the cops show up, I would take my shirt off and I'd be like, all right, here we go. And they just beat the piss out of me and I go to jail. That's how it works. I got a new joke I've been doing about that, about how like don't fight the cops. I'm like, they cheat. You take your shirt off, there's 8 of them. Yeah, they could call for backup. I could never call for more belligerent drunks. You know?
And here in my little rose-colored world, I
just-
thought you were using it to pick up chicks.
No. That'd be kind of,
I don't know.
maybe a little bit.
Hey,
I
baby.
told you about those couple months, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I was really feeling myself. I explored a lot. I was with this girl. She wanted to listen to 311. I was like, it's not a deal breaker. Ooh, amber is the color of your energy. That was weird. And then this is my new one. So I'm going to have to stand up for a second.
Okay. It's on the back of your leg.
Okay, we're going to narrate.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like a Looney Tunes pistol. Yeah. But like Looney Tune style.
Right. Like cartoon characters.
A pistol and a knife, and the pistol's holding a knife, and the knife is holding a pistol. Did I get it?
Yeah.
I got it.
So
I
The
love
story?
tattoos.
it's a gun that brought a knife to a gunfight, or it's a gun that brought a knife to a knife
fight.
to fight a knife. It doesn't mean anything.
I love it.
I get tired of people like, oh, this tattoo is for my grandma. She's very important to me. I just thought that was cool.
Did you come up with that, or did you see
I
it
did
somewhere?
come up with
Good
it.
for you.
Yeah, it's so much better than some of my other tattoo ideas.
Now,
I was gonna
now
get,
a lot of people are going to get that.
that'd be cool. I'd
Yeah.
love to
There you
do
go.
it.
You
There you go.
started
I had
something.
this idea that I would get like a piece of spaghetti, just like one piece of spaghetti, like really long, like tattooed on my hand, and it would go up my sleeve.
Yeah.
And people be like, Sam, where's that spaghetti go? But it just wouldn't go anywhere. It'd just be like more spaghetti everywhere. I'd be like, I don't even like spaghetti that much.
Does your wife have tattoos?
Yes.
You like them? I could tell by the way your eyes
Yeah.
light up.
I like tattoos.
Yeah.
There's things I like. I like short hair. I like women with short hair because of Sigourney Weaver and Aliens.
Really?
Yeah, that was a formative experience
Wow.
for me.
Okay.
I like women that fight aliens,
Yeah.
which is hard to find.
I was
You
gonna
know, I'm
say,
very
how many
picky.
aliens has your wife fought?
Yeah, she's great. I've been 13 years, and it gets better every year.
That's so sweet.
And we have really good balance. She works in like public defense, and I like that, you know. Yeah, we do really well. My kids are doing well. They're 14 and 11.
They're at that age.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Yeah.
my 14-year-old. I've never been more of a loser in my life than I am right now. Like we were driving. He has like I shouldn't talk about this, and I won't. But we were driving with him and one of his friends, and I was taking him someplace, and I was like, it was the first time where I'm not the cool comedian dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, my jokes are stupid. I'm lame. You know, dealing with that.
He'll grow out of it.
Yeah, they're good kids though. And they go on tour with me sometimes, especially my youngest, Oliver. He loves going on the road with me. He's my road dog.
Wow.
We have road dog rules that I even have. I had them. I shouldn't do it because I have a nice car, but I taped them to my dashboard, the road dog rules. And like, it's like, eat cheeseburgers. But like, there's weird rules. Like when my kid's on the road with me, for every unhealthy thing we eat, we have to eat something healthy. So we're always going to grocery stores and getting like a banana and a candy bar. And we're like, we're doing it. And like, he'll sell merch after my shows. And
There
stuff.
you go.
Do they do any stand-up?
They have. Both of them have done it, and they know about it, and they think about it. And, you know, it's not, nepotism only works if, you know, it's hard to do it in show business sometimes, because if they ain't no good. See, Willie's funny. Willie's coming on the roof.
Yeah.
Willie's actually doing good at stand-up.
Willie is
Griswold.
Tom Griswold's
Yeah,
son, and for those of you who don't know. And then Pat Godwin's son, Jimmy, has been going on the road with him a little bit.
I didn't know
Jimmy's
that.
15,
Yeah.
and I have not seen him perform with Dad, but I hear he
Who, Willie?
No, Pat's son.
Oh,
Jimmy.
yeah.
No, I've seen Willie. I've
Yeah.
gone to Chicago to see Willie.
Oh, that's awesome.
actually.
Yeah, Willie does good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll tell you, you know, it's a funny thing about Bob and Tom is the first time I was on the show, I was very nervous, but I was actually a little bit more nervous the second time because I felt like I set the bar kind of high.
Yeah.
I
4
feel
million
good about
views
tomorrow.
will do that.
Yeah. I feel good about tomorrow. But the first time I was on a show, I don't know if you know about this, but I'm nervous. But I'm sitting next to Josh Arnold.
Yep.
And before we turned on the mics, I said something and he laughed, and he said something back to me and I laughed at him. And then I kind of just latched on to him because I was like, this is a guy who knows comedy very well. Like he's very good at it.
Mm.
And after that, it was fine because I knew when I said something, even if it didn't work, that me and Josh would figure it out, like that it would be okay.
You guys are very similar. I mean, you got the same vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope he's
I
there
see that.
tomorrow.
Oh, he'll be there.
Okay, good.
But he has moved seats, so you won't be sitting next to him. Unless you want to sit in my seat, I'll give it up if you'd like.
No,
I don't care.
Fine. I'll still be able to see him.
You'll get to sit next to Willie.
Yeah. Tom made me kind of nervous out the
Tom
gate.
makes all of us nervous.
Yeah. But I
That's
feel
his
like I'm doing
thing.
better with that now. So.
Well, he respects you.
Yeah, I respect him a lot too. I respect all you guys. It's not, you know, that's another thing is just like, it's such a pro like atmosphere. It's really easy for me to come in there. And I have stories. One of them is about doing comedy in a prison. And I've never told the story before publicly.
You're going to tell it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
big teaser for this. It's not going to air until we
Whatever.
You'll have to look it up on YouTube.
Yeah. And then actually another thing, which I wasn't sure what else I was going to talk about, but you reminded me. And actually this is going to air after.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
So like, I'm probably going to tell a story because if he wants a drinking story, this really happened. I was drinking at a bar in Olympia. This dude, John, who I went to Job Corps with, he was bartending. And I was drunk. It was like 2 p.m. Nice day in Olympia. And 4th Ave Tavern is the name of the bar. And I went into the bathroom not thinking nothing of it. And I go to pee. And all of a sudden this guy goes, "Hey, what the heck?" And there was this really short dude. And he was peeing. and I didn't see him, and I peed on his back while he was peeing. You can't tell anybody, but I'm going to tell that story on Bob
And I'll act like I heard it for the first time.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So like I didn't see him, and then he was very
was he vertically challenged, man?
he was really short. He wasn't like a little person or anything. He was just a really short guy.
Okay.
And the thing is when he turned around, like I was like half asleep drunk, and it scared me so bad. I went, whoa, and I
water wiggle.
It was kind of flying around, and then I felt, and I feel bad. It isn't like a thing. Like I wouldn't think this was funny like on purpose to do it on purpose. But like, I felt so bad. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I really didn't see you. He was like, it doesn't matter. And then I was like, I jumped to the stall next to him and finished. And then he was out in the bar. And I go out of there and he's like stomping his little feet. You know, and he's stomping back and forth. And he does this thing where he's like, you know what? He goes, I come to Olympia like twice a year and it's always something. And then he was like, and you just, and I was like, dude, John, I'm so sorry. I didn't see him. And he was like, you got to kick him out. And I was like, John, honestly, you should kick me out. Beat on a guy. And my friend John looked at me and goes, it was an accident. And the guy's like, I'm never coming back.
Oh, that's great.
That is fun.
Oh, Sam, what a pleasure. You are such a wonderful human being.
Oh, thank you. And I the feeling is mutual. When I came on the show the first time, I was happy. Yeah, I'm happy to do this. And I'm excited. I'm going to go to the zoo tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Pleasure to meet you here. Hope to see you tomorrow. Tell us one more time where people can catch your tour.
Oh, geez. Everything's on sammillercomedy.com.
There you go.
And then there's also Sam Miller Comedy on Facebook, Sam Miller Comedian on Instagram.
When will the special be out that you just taped?
Geez, I don't know, but I got one special out already called Round Trip. I'm very proud of it. I recorded it at the Capitol Theater, which is a theater I woke up in front of my last night on the streets. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
You should be.
The Tarp Report.
The Tarp Report podcast with Sam and Jess.
Great episode.
It is we get after it. We switched formats and now we're a news podcast because it turns out talking about nothing at all
it's hard.
Can be a problem. You have
Yeah,
to talk about
yeah.
something. So
Yep. That's how I started doing stand-up, was reading news on stage, basically.
there you go.
Yeah. I mean, not that I did stand-up, but when I would have to do it for the show.
Yeah.
But that was kind
I
of
bet
my
you did
thing.
great. You know, that's the thing that cracks me up is that like even sitting here, there's people that know how to talk and be engaging. And like, this is really easy. And it's easy to do it with you, especially, Kristi.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think I had the, I guess, advantage of walking out there and people knew who I was. I didn't have to earn them, or, I could say,
I still we'll make it happen one of these days, but I would still love to do like some kind of Bob and Tom like show thing and
Comedy
go with you
tour?
guys somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll be sure and put in a good word for you.
Yeah, please do.
I will. Well, I hope you do our show again sometime.
Oh, yeah, I will.
We would love to
Thank
have
you
you.
so much. What
Yes.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
And hilarious.
Thank you. Yeah, spay and neuter your pets.
Oh, wait. What's your favorite zoo animal?
Oh, geez. Otters. My wife's was otters, and then it became otters. I just think they're fun.
Well, that's good. Washington State, you have a lot of otters.
Yeah, the otters. Also, puffins. We have puffins.
Do we have puffins?
At Point Defiance.
Yeah,
Zoo.
I can't help you with either one of those.
No, but we have baby
sadly,
penguins.
We have baby penguins.
Oh my gosh, they're learning to swim. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh.
They can't just swim automatically?
No.
They do not.
I
Have
didn't
to
know
learn.
that either.
It's amazing.
I'm sorry. I feel like I have a look of disgust. I don't know why.
You do have a look of disgust on
I'm
your
like,
face.
get
Like,
it
they
together.
don't
We
know how to
can't-
swim.
Swim? That's what you're known for. That's like the number one penguin thing. You can't fly. You got to do something.
We also have a baby orangutan too.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like orangutans because their name has like orange in it and they're kind of orange. I think nothing there.
That's true. That's true. Fair enough.
Well, there was certainly a lot here, and we once again thank you
thank you
very
so
much.
Man,
Yes.
you're the best. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, Sam Miller, definitely worth your time. Dr. Rob, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Kristi.
Yeah.
What a great anniversary episodes.
Yes,
Well done,
absolutely.
Sam.
Can't wait for our next guest. We have no idea who it is.
Get one of them not swimming penguins in there.
You've been listening to Worth Your Time with Dr. Rob Shumaker and Kristi Lee. If you like what you hear, please give a review wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to tell your friends. Word of mouth is the best compliment. Thanks to our producers, Chris Spangle of Leaders and Legends, LLC. You can reach him at leadersandlegends.net. Also, thanks to Sophie Ritz. I'm Christopher Geisen. Thanks for joining us.